Alright, everybody, we are back! How are you guys doing?
Wow. Wow, new episode. Wow, is this real? I would rather be wrong because I would like people to make money. You are the queen of top. So how much you sold Tesla at?
I think I made 100% profits from everything I put in.
Whole goal of interest rate is all about, which is adding fear into the market.
That's why you need to jump into the real estate because that's where the rich people are pumping the money in.
Until one day you collapse on the floor, the Fed, okay, shit.
A negative cash flow doesn't mean you are losing money.
Doing nothing has been the best play for the past 1 year.
I thought you bought a lot of nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
Business has never been easier to enter. Business has never been harder as well. Welcome to a random episode of Café Money, guys.
Are we really back?
I mean, it's for you to find out. But anyway, we are very happy to be doing at least one episode of Café Money after like one. How long was it? Like,
1 year
1 year?
plus.
1 year
More
plus?
than
Oh
a
my
year.
god, it's been 1 year plus?
Yeah.
It's been 1 year,
Wow.
3 months. I
But
think.
What have you been doing for the past 1 year plus?
With you traveling too. No, but it doesn't feel like 1 year for
doesn't-
us
it
because
doesn't
we
feel
meet
so
up
long.
often.
Yeah.
It really doesn't feel that long. It felt like we always talk about season 2.
We talk about
mean-
season 2 in Bali.
Yeah, we talk
talk
about
season
it.
2 in
We
everywhere.
should do it.
Quite guilty of it. I think I met some people and people have been asking about when are we going to do the next episode. And every time I say soon. But the soon just didn't come for the past 1 year plus.
So which
Exactly.
I think this episode we're going to give a little bit of like updates, what happened to all of us. We're going to share about some of the key, crucial, let's just say financial information that we thought is important for people to know, and maybe also our perspective about 2023, starting the year, right? You know, just want to give you guys some feedback as well. And of course, a lot of people ask us, hey, what happened to Ken Teng? Hey, what happened to Qiuyu? What happened to Benny? I think it's just a very good catch up, you know, for everyone else as well. So we don't know, is this official season 2?
We do not know. But actually, we started this episode just to cover. There's one main topic we would like to cover, which is this thing called risk-free rate. We will go into details later.
Yeah.
But we will just give you some updates on our life.
Yeah.
And maybe, as Benny said, the outlook for stock market, real estate, maybe
Yes.
crypto.
Combination of three of us. We have been through a few holidays, and sadly, I missed a few holidays with them.
No,
which
no,
I'm-
no. Maybe, just one great one.
Yeah, we are so good. Like we were in where we were in Osaka.
Yeah.
Wow, we had the best trip ever.
We have the best beef
I hate
ever.
it, yeah.
It's so fantastic.
Then
The
what
food
were
is
you
so
doing?
good.
Yeah, what were you doing, Benny?
I don't know, man. I'm just very sad that I couldn't join you in the Kyoto, Osaka trip.
And we
Because,
went to Japan at the best time.
Yeah, it was so nice.
Stop rubbing it in, guys. Yeah.
Right.
The temperature was aircon level.
Yes.
Like the
The
food.
weather was fantastic. It's
Yeah.
like, autumn time, haven't reached winter.
Yeah, remember we were
Yeah,
walking
yeah.
with the trees around by the river.
Yeah.
Wow, drinking our coffee.
Warm coffee in a cool weather.
I think it's a good trip. They sent me a lot of photos. I can
Yeah.
testify based on the photos. But together also, we went to Bali, right? We went to
Yeah,
Bali.
together
Oh, yeah,
we went
we
Bali.
did.
And then that was the first time I went on surfing.
Surfing.
Although I've been to Bali like 10 times, but
Yeah.
My first time surfing too.
Yeah, I
I
thought
think I
it's
was
a lot of
quite
fun.
good at it.
yeah,
I would
as
say I'm
usual.
quite
Yeah, I
good.
think.
You're good because you're light. You're like a gel. Anything that stands on the board, that light will just go straight. You know?
Hey, but if it's like not stable,
Not
right?
really
Like
true,
easy to topple.
No,
No.
there's this thing called center of gravity.
Really?
Size wise, it's not badly. But anyway, we had a good trip in Bali. I thought that was a nice trip. We managed to catch up, slow down a little bit about life, and we went to Bali at a very strange time. I mean, we were one of the first few people to go to Bali.
When they open
Yeah.
up.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think 50% of the shops was like down. It was bad.
Yeah.
Everything was closed, right? I was really sad though. But I went back to Bali about like December, right? Things were a lot better. Like things are catching back up. People are good. I went back to the same surf school. Changed new boards. Like things are really coming together. So folks in Indonesia, so happy to see that Bali is stepping back up again. Economy is coming back. Tourism is coming back as well, which makes me very excited about Bali because this year I hope to travel to Bali a lot more.
I'll be going soon.
I'll be going with you, right?
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Benny. Bye.
On a secret mission that one day, if it's successful, you guys will have heard about it. Okay, but for now, it's a fun trip. Okay, that's all right.
It's a fun
It's a
trip.
fun trip.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
It is a business trip.
Yeah.
No. It's a fun
trip.
trip.
It's a fun
yeah.
trip.
Fun trip.
Fun trip.
Yeah, fun trip. Yeah.
If it's all work out, you guys heard about it. If you don't, right, then we'll just silent off. Move forward, right? So it's got to be fun. And just want to find out more about Qiuyu. How is 2022 for you?
2022 for me, I think pretty awesome. I mean, I'm as usual spending a lot of time at work, but at the same time, because the borders open up a lot, I think last year is the first year I've been to so many countries in just a single year.
Wow, how many? I think you travel a lot. I know, like
3, 4,
shit. So many?
5.
And a cruise?
5. 5. I went to 5 different countries just
Wow.
last year.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
It's good, man. I think tourism is like booming right now. Right? Everybody's coming back, like traveling.
I think they call it
everybody-
revenge travel is happening.
It is. It's
Yeah.
like the revenge shopping when everybody was trapped at home, right? When
Yeah,
it first
yeah.
came out. Right? Now it's like revenge travel. So bad. Like literally in Christmas in Singapore, one of our most popular district, which is like Orchard Road, right? Like it was quiet, you know.
Oh yeah, it was quite a
It was-
quiet
it was
town
quiet, you
in
know,
Singapore
yeah.
in December. Yeah.
Everybody
Wow.
was out. Yeah.
I've been traveling so much that I don't even know Singapore well. Like yesterday, I was at Marina Bay
Don't know
Sands.
what's the norm
Yeah,
of
I
Singapore.
don't know. Like yesterday, I was at Marina Bay Sands the first time at Apple Store. Mind blown. I was there. I felt like a tourist.
Wait, you never been there before?
No, I've never been before.
Oh my
Wow, it's so beautiful. My God, that ball. It's a
It is,
fantastic
it is.
ball. Yeah.
Like what? Like I know you are in like Taiwan like for longest time. You're in like
Yeah.
over everywhere for the longest time. You're in like Japan
Yeah.
for the longest time. Right? You know, guys, how we plan holiday is very funny. Just share with you a little bit of insider tips, right? It's like we don't plan by date, but Ken will just give us a range of date that he's there, and then because he will always be way longer than all of us
And
there,
we
right?
just chop our dates in.
Yeah, and then we just like crashes our holiday. That's what we
Yeah.
always do. Like I mean,
Yeah.
like what you travel like what 2 months, 3 months for every trip sometimes. Like
Yeah, but I'll be cutting it short a little bit. Just coming back Singapore more often. But it's short Singapore trip, then I'll still go out. Like this time, I'm like in like 2 days time. I'll be flying off to Tokyo, then going there for ski, coming back. This year, I'm also doing a few things. Like I'm going to go marine conservation for 1 month in
Yeah,
Thailand.
you told me about
what kind
it.
of life
oh my
is there?
gosh.
Yeah.
What kind of
the-
life is there? Marine conservation, skiing in Kyoto, like wow.
It's a Ken's life.
Yeah,
That's a
then we are
Ken's
going
life,
to
man.
Bali again. Wow, that'll be exciting.
We'll probably be going to Japan again together
Yeah,
this year.
I already booked my Japan for
Stop it, guys.
I just need to chop
For-
my dates in right now, right?
Yeah. Like
Unfortunately, I have a
this
slightly busier life, but you know what? I would really hope to go on a next travel adventure with all of you guys as soon as possible as well. So, Ken, 2022, apart from holiday and more holiday, how is it like for you in 2022?
It's an amazing year. Obviously, it got to a bad start, those that follow my YouTube. But at the end of the whole thing, most people realize that I was
You
right.
are right. My
Yeah,
goodness.
we're losers. Have fun staying poor. To all those people that shit on me. But I think in this whole financial industry, I mean, I would rather be wrong because I would like people to make money. But at the end of it, I still feel that there's this Chinese saying that older people eat more salt. You know that.
You eat more salt than people eat rice.
Yeah, that kind of saying. That means sometimes experience do count, that gut feeling, that kind of thing. Experience Indian kind of still, you need that kind of experience in the financial market. Yeah.
Especially people who have never been through the bear market, right? What just happened over the last 1 year can be very, very scary. I mean, like, think about it. A lot of YouTuber rise to fame also just because of the bull market, you know. And
Yeah.
and I know Ken like has been investing before he was in YouTube. I know him way before that. I know him when he talked to me about Tesla. That sounds like a rocket ship flying around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what, bro? It was here.
Huh?
We were sitting there
Yeah.
in
What
the
happened?
old renovation.
Okay.
You told me to put my money on Tesla.
You didn't.
That was like 3-4 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. My God. Yeah, so I mean what my point is not that I'm a big loser that don't follow his advice back then, but my
You
point
were a
is
donkey.
I was a donkey, right? But my point is I saw Ken go through many financial crisis period before and how he hold on to his portfolio and learn from each chapter as well. It's very different now. So I will agree that for most of people who start investing over the last 2-3 years, right? You know, this year is going to be interesting
Yep.
for everyone as well
Yeah.
to learn. Yeah.
And I must say that, I mean, it's definitely always easier to make money when the market is always going up. And for the past few years, people were making money easy from the
Easy.
stocks market, right?
buy anything will
and
go up.
I was just thinking about your experience at that point in time, because on the day where you were going to announced that you're going to stop YouTube, we actually met up, if you remember. Then you were telling me, you know what, 8 p.m. my video is going to be released.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Right?
I was having,
you were having a dinner. Right?
I remember
And
you were
was-
having waffle, is it? Ice cream?
we were eating
I remember
ice cream.
that,
So I'm just thinking about your experience must be so damn tough, because when everyone is so optimistic about the market and you have to come into the market to tell people and break that bad news, nobody is going to believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it must be so tough for you, because
It was painful.
you could have like, just made your own money and walk away without having that egg thrown at you lah.
Yeah.
Right.
But no matter how experienced I am, nobody can beat you. You are the queen of top. So let's talk about Qiuyu's experience in 2022. She's the queen, all right? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the queen of timing.
So can you, like,
crypto
I was-
stocks, right? Yeah, share experience on that.
Share
please.
what happened. My God.
My goodness.
How much you sold Tesla at? Tell the
I
world.
sold it at, I can't remember, it was at 410. Was it 410? The highest was 420
I think you
at that
sold.
point in time.
But I think you sold before stock split, right? Like
No,
what-
you
Before the
sold
stock-
so at 1,001 or something. Like that.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was, it was before stock
it was
split, yeah.
the high. Oh, okay. So it was like last year April.
Yeah.
So my logic was this, right? I was telling Benny about it. At that point in time, the highest Tesla actually reached was 1,200.
1,001 about that.
At that point in
almost,
time,
yeah, correct.
I think January they reached 1,002. So in April it reached 1,001.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, what are the odds of it breaking the highest high? Okay, and if I were to cash out everything, I made 100% profits from everything I put in. But if I were to hold on to it, if it drops, then I will lose my money, or I will make lesser. So actually, the odds of me, liquidating and selling everything and take back all my money is actually a smarter choice, because if it really drops, then I can still slowly buy back in, ma.
Yes.
So that's my logic, and
It was
I'm just
quite
using
crazy.
pure logic to do this
I
move.
think it was
and,
like
yeah.
$1,150. I mean, it was really at like one of the all-time high, and I was like a little bit more coward compared to her, right? I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll just liquidate like 75% of my Tesla stock, right?
I was
She was
telling
like,
you all my
it doesn't
logic.
make sense
Yeah.
logically. You
Yeah.
can always buy back. I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna just drop. So I was very lucky to listen to her. Completely no fundamental.
Completely
No
no fundamental.
fundamental.
Not that I'm advocating this. You shouldn't be doing that. But I was just.
But sometimes
doing things
in
based on logic,
Chinese
yeah.
culture, we believe in this thing called luck. Some people got that luck, right?
You talk about your crypto luck, my God. Like, let's talk about it. Like, what happened? I know something happened, like you all sold at the tops or something like that.
So she told me that we need to let go. I'm like, really? We're gonna sell everything? She's like, yes. So the moment we execute it, right? We
Yeah.
exercise it, right? 2 hours later, everything went down bad, right? Like that was how crazy was it. So she has been consistently doing this timing nonsense, right? But it's in some strange way. We know timing the market leads you to nowhere, but
Yeah.
but she happened to be the queen of timing.
I just have some kind of my own logic to certain things. Yeah.
I think I still need to start listening to you, man.
No, I get
It's like
inspiration from
combining
you as well
fundamentals
sometimes.
of Ken and the timing of Qiuyu. We might be able to get somewhere, right?
You gotta leverage on the two of us.
No, I just leverage, like, seriously, like when it comes to stocks, even crypto, right? I just like look at them. They always give me awesome advice. I just happen to be a little bit more busy. I catch up with them, like maybe a ratio of 3:1. When you're meet 3 times, you're gonna be like, I gotta be a 1 time, right? It's about like
Yeah.
3:1, right? So because of my schedule and my businesses, but when we catch up, it's always good to hear from people who are constantly actively in studying the market. I think one thing I learned from Ken, I think you might not know, is that we were on Bali holiday, and when I woke up, knowing that you get out from the room, like what were you doing the whole morning, right? What I saw was so crazy. Like you were really at the laptop doing what you preach, just
So disciplined,
scrolling
yeah.
through the economy, the news, the market, right? And I'm talking about like I was there for like 3 days. Once again, very short trip. The most ridiculous short trip. Because all of them have like super long trips there, right? But I only got 3 days I can afford. I go in and go out. But every day was like this, disciplinely studying the market. So, it's very good to hear from people who not just make financial bets, but who are updated to the market as well. So, kudos to you, Ken. Luckily, I have a friend like you that I can leverage the two of you as well.
Thank you. I hope I inspire you to like. Other than you see me doing all this, while I was actually I do 2 things at one time in the morning. Usually I listen to financial podcasts and stuff, but at the same time you do see me working out in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'll just do 2 in 1. I was just doing my workout beside.
My
the
God,
pool.
I just got triggered from Facebook, right? Like, when I met you, and now you look completely different though.
Is it? I hope I look better.
I think you dropped like 7-8 kg.
I don't know. Yeah, probably about there.
Right, yeah.
But putting a
Crazy.
bit of mass on because,
Master myself.
yeah, hopefully.
Wow, that's good.
Oh, my tooth got bigger.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Censor.
What you're talking about?
Anyway, interesting year. Let's talk about some interesting stuff, right? I think one of the biggest thing that people are very worried about is this thing called interest rate. One of the biggest thing that people keep talking about is this thing called bonds. You know, like it's just every day in the market you hear crypto folks suddenly talk about bonds, safetiness of bonds, exiting from crypto to do park their money in risk-free situations, right? So can you give us like a real good summary of what this whole thing is all about? Yeah, because everybody heard about it, they talk about it, and strangely, as much as it's such common knowledge, a lot of people don't know about it though. Yeah.
Okay, let me explain. Because I spoke to a lot of like financially like savvy people, and they don't even know what is risk-free rate. So let me explain what is risk-free. Risk-free is as it is. It sounds is risk-free. So there are, and it's guaranteed. So there are two things that's guaranteed in life, which is death and tax. So now I'll add on the third
This
one.
is the third
Alright.
Third
one.
one,
Bonds.
risk-free. Okay, why is it risk-free? It's because you are investing in the government. So let's say, for example, the government gives a 4% risk-free rate, which they can be in notes, in T-bills, or whatever it is, whatever instrument that they have. But because you give the government, let's say, $100,000, you are guaranteed back your $100,000 at the end of that particular duration that you choose. Could be 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years. And let's say you put in like a risk-free rate of 4% at $100,000. So obviously at the end of it, you get $4,000 back.
Yeah.
So it's guaranteed. So unless the government defaults, unless the government goes down, which is highly unlikely, that's why they call it the risk-free
I
rate.
see. I guess for major, should I consider that tier 1 or first world country, it should be relatively safe when they buy the bonds?
Yeah, I mean, short of government collapse and war, I think actually war is still around. The government is still around. So I think it's relatively safe. But the whole point about let's talk about risk-free rate and why am I quite worried generally. It's because, let's say, for example, if you are a normal consumer, right?
Yeah.
And I tell you, 4% on your... Actually, right now, I just saw it's 4.6%.
Well, that's pretty high.
Singapore
and it's guaranteed.
Guaranteed, yeah. You think about it, if you are an investor in REITs or you invest in dividends, I ask you, why buy dividend stock? Why buy REITs?
Yeah.
Like I know there are some like Singapore, we have a REIT called the Parkway Health,
Yep.
giving 2+%. Like why? Why would I get a 2+% where I can go risk-free with the government?
Double risk-free. Double and risk-free.
And you know the funny thing is the REITs are, because they are highly leveraged products, when the interest rate goes up, it actually impacts the REITs itself. So that kind of like, so a lot of investors, I just saying that generally most investors will kind of tilt towards the bonds, and that sucks capital out of the market. This is how they control what you call inflation. When you suck more money out of the market, somehow prices will kind of go down because everything's expensive right now. Yeah, I mean prices in our food centers has kind of went up.
So it's one way to control inflation in a way.
Yeah, so they to control inflation, they need to suck out capital from a lot of places. So you realize stock market is down, a lot of places are down for many reasons. Like let's say for example, the risk-free rate goes up. We can talk about that later, which is both of you are really good at real estate. How does that affect real estate? Obviously, your mortgages go up. So when you spend more money on your mortgage, there'll be less money spent on the outside economy. Yeah. So this whole thing kind of sucks money out. And the thing about, let's talk dividend stocks also. When you invest in dividend stocks, most dividend stocks are, why stocks give dividend? You got to just pull back and why stocks give dividend. It's because they have nowhere else to put the money into R&D. If the company is a high growth company, and they will spend a lot of money in R&D, so that's where they'll pump the money. Yeah. And so at a certain point of time, some companies are so huge, what you
They
do with
don't
extra
know
cash?
where to allocate their money anymore, right?
So they give dividends. So if you look at the company life cycle, a dividend company is like the last phase before it's coming down. Yeah. So the growth, so capital growth for dividend companies usually not so good. If you just look at all the dividend stocks, you know how it grows. It grows at a few percent just for that dividend.
So like I hear the concern, right, based on the economic perspective, but what about like normal people, day-to-day people? Because right now the interest rate, the returns from all these kind of risk-free bonds is so high. Do you think people should be shifting their portfolio towards that?
Generally, I see the public, most people are doing it right now. Most of them are like, wow, let's go. There's a queue outside. In fact, like let's say...
Why not, right?
Yeah, why not? You see a lot of people, like they go internet banking and they apply for the government bonds, but they only got a certain amount of allocation. So usually people don't get it. In fact, I think the world is quite unfair. Like if you are in premier banking, you have priority.
Yep.
Oh, the rich get richer?
Yeah, the rich get richer. It's like, for example, I have the OCBC, premier banking. It's like if you just go to the website now, it's like 4.5% or something like that. And I'm not locked in, you know. So
it's not locked in.
I'm not locked in. It's nuts. Like, so okay, I'm not saying that like OCBC is damn good or what, but in this whole thing, right, you see a lot of people moving themselves towards bonds and fixed D. There's a queue outside. Would I do it? You know, I'm the kind of guy who likes 10x, 1,000% returns, that kind of thing. Yeah, I would probably set aside, if those people who are feeling like they safer investments, I think you could park money there.
I mean, I would say that at this point in time, let's say if you know, because all this has a fixed tenure of, say, I think 6 months or something. If you know that within the next 6 months or a year you have no use for the money that you have in the bank, then I think it's quite a pretty good idea to put it into such a bond, right?
It's a fantastic idea for most of the population.
It's pretty safe for most people.
Yeah, for most people who have a very little appetite for risk, I think this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect.
What do you think, Benny?
I think that the notion of rich get richer is pretty bad as an analogy. I think that the prepared get richer, that's the word as well, because it's really not hard to open a premium banking account. I mean, I'm sorry to say, I mean, with some sensitivity as well, wealth does affect, right? But sometimes you got to know some loopholes or how things are done, right? A lot of them, to get to this privilege title, right? All you need to do is to get a bunch of cash to deposit in the bank. And then, I'm a privileged banking, right? And then the next day you draw it out.
Ooh, so you just need to show the fund. So as long as you know where to get that fund, show it to the bank. After that, return
you just put it in, and then you are dedicated RM. Like, oh, you're privileged banking, right? Then you take the money out. So my point is, I'm not saying it's easy to get money. My point is, if you really get yourself prepared, right, there's a lot of opportunity out there. Like there's a lot, right? I mean, personally, Qiuyu, you have known this based on previous financial crisis, stock, oil, everything crashed, and COVID, right? We had prepared business entity that we own, right? Banks were giving out free money to us, 1% business loan, right? And we are talking about like 5 to 6 figures, right? For us to do any kind of investment. So I guess I just want to hold back the whole idea of rich get richer, because it sounds like people don't have opportunity, and then they kind of go in the cycle of, oh, rich get richer, then they start to give up. But it really is not true, because one of the most famous podcast episode that people keep asking, which is the cash flow episode. And people say, oh, this is a smart way. There's a lot of things to do, right? In cash flow, back then, season 1, go back and watch, okay? So my point is, you can get yourself very prepared. And one of the key ways is to understand where are all these good returns and good money, right? And how do you get yourself there? Study the rules, play with the rule, don't play against the rule, play with the rule, understand how to get there, right? And actually the opportunity can go wide open. So that's my real point. On your point, you are very good at playing with the rule as well, knowing like, not against the rule, guys. It's a big difference, all right? Understanding the requirements, right? Getting there, meeting the requirement as well. I think very interesting here from Ken's perspective, because I personally do not study macroeconomic as deep as Ken. I think that's a big part to move stocks. In fact, the entire stock market is pretty much a government policy market right now. I really see the US government policy market. It's almost like Singapore real estate, which is a Singapore government policy market right now. Exactly. So it's very interesting to hear how this interesting, high, attractive interest rate do get money out of the market, thereby stabilizing the economy a little bit, right?
Yeah,
and
that's
I
a
guess,
very nice new perspective. I never thought of it that
and if you're
way.
in high fear right now, guys, if you're in high fear right now, there's really no harm to just take your money to put in somewhere safe. Like there is really no harm. Like I think it's really fair to make 4% a year. It's not a position that I'll go into
Yeah.
personally, but I think it's fair, right? If it's risk free, yeah.
So what about fixed D from banks? Are they any difference?
I think they are good for people who in their later years in life. Those are good, but it's not something for me. Let's say if I'm getting for my premier banking, I'm getting quite high. Yeah, but I don't have a lock-in period. So the thing is, I can just easily withdraw and let's say for example the market crash to extreme lows like
And
COVID.
you need the cash to go in.
Yeah, I would straight away withdraw. I would just lose my interest just for that month. That's it. Yeah. So it's to me it's pretty brainless. So every month you just see your interest keeps coming in. So
Yeah, so I was actually doing some research recently on a bank's fixed D rate, because since the government bond rate is also getting high, right? I noticed that the bank's fixed deposit rate is also getting higher. So because I got a property in Cambodia, right? So I was already kind of exposed to fixed deposit in developing countries like Cambodia. Right, so generally speaking, right, since long time ago, countries like Cambodia, I think India, Indonesia, their fixed deposit rate is already higher. When Singapore was offering maybe 1%, 2%, they were already offering 5%, 6%, 7%. Yeah. So I was just doing a check, currently, let's say now our interest rate, our returns is about 4% from local Singapore bank, right? What is the interest rate of return that they are giving from Cambodia banks? So I realized that they are giving out 7 to 9, 10%.
holy shit! But I think it comes with a price, right?
What's the catch?
What's the catch? It sounds like Terra Luna to me.
Okay, honestly speaking, I don't think that the catch is that bad, because
Really?
in Singapore the interest rate is higher if you put your money for a longer tenure, or if you put a higher amount of money, right? Then I was doing the comparison. I found this I think it's called Cambodia Asia Bank. They're giving out 9.9%. You just need to lock in for 9 months, and minimum sum is 1,000 USD.
This sounds good,
That's
but
very low, you know.
So my question to you is, I think most countries like that, they would put in their currency, and their currency will depreciate according
correct.
to.
So actually, what they have is actually if you lock the money in the Cambodia dollar, obviously the interest rate is higher because their currency is weaker, right?
Yeah.
But if you lock it in USD, they also give you the option to lock it in USD. So the difference is about maybe 1+% to 2+% lower in terms of interest. But let's say 9+%. Even if in USD they charge you 2% lower, 7+%, okay.
How easy or how hard is it to move money in and out of Cambodia?
Okay, I think it's not that tough to move the money in and out, but it can be quite difficult or troublesome, I would say, to open the bank account in the Cambodia itself. So previously I had a property in Cambodia, right? So I needed to open a bank account so then the money can be, or my returns can be deposited in. And it was during COVID, I couldn't go down, so I opened a bank account in Singapore. I opened a Cambodia account in Singapore through CIMB Bank, which I do not have access to it. I can only get a banker to show me how much fund is there inside. Are they, depositing the money inside? So they do give me the money and show the account, you see, but I cannot have access. So what I need to do is I have to fly down to Cambodia to open up and have access to the iBanking lah.
So let me ask.
Yeah.
So you have put 100,000.
So you need to fly down to take out.
I need to fly down to take out.
So my returns will drop because there's expenses in that fixed deposit, right?
Okay, so I think the interest is higher, but it's troublesome. I mean, if it's convenient for you, for people who travel to Cambodia, or you already have a bank account
but
there.
if you're gonna put 10,000, it doesn't make sense, right? Because if you make 1,000,
Okay, maybe you just make 2-3% more.
Then you minus away airfare and transport and food,
If you
right?
go there for holiday, it's
holiday.
okay.
But let's say you do it seriously at 100,000, I think you need to hire a security team in Cambodia to guide you out the
Yeah,
bank
man.
when you're
I
withdrawing,
don't know.
man.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's
yeah.
just, but we are just looking at things around the world, and I think that's a very good, interesting observation. I know India was also giving quite a high interest.
Yeah.
But usually, if you look at, you just think about money. If something sounds too good to be true, you just need to understand how they get the money
Yep.
for
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
But
you
Just need to be a little bit mindful of what is the currency you need to deposit your money in, because sometimes the currency could lose its value over time.
But I do know that people who does this fantastically well as well, like they take loan from country who have very low interest rate, and then they are mastery in some of the countries' fixed deposits, and they know those rates, right? And they know how to make sure that it's safe, right? They're there for long, so they just borrow from one country cheap, take a fixed D that's high, they just arbitrage their money at 7 figures to even 8 figures, right? And that's how they make
So
the money.
that's only for works very well for people who has already accumulated that huge pot of money, right?
Yeah, and
Otherwise,
and
that
very well
few
versed in
percentage
a
won't
few
change your
countries.
life.
Are very well versed and very well,
Yeah.
like really know the game in a few countries. But I guess for a layman who is based in the States or in Singapore, right?
just get a bond,
Yeah.
Don't overcomplicate stuff. Yeah.
But at the same time, if I'm not wrong, they dare to give 9% because they also have crazy lending rates, right? As in like when they
Yes.
right, like 12% or 15%.
That's the
when you-
reason why if you want to buy a property as a foreigner, as an investor, you want to buy a property over there, most of the time you should be paying, people will be paying full cash because it just doesn't make sense to get their mortgage.
Yeah, which is why this is not an endorsement, not a support or recommendation to Cambodia property. I just want to be very
it's
clear
not.
first. It's totally not, okay? Don't take
Yeah.
this out of contract because that's the number one real estate that I don't invest in.
Yeah.
Cambodia real estate.
Nah.
But it's okay, lah. I mean, you learn and then you grow. That's most important, right?
I mean, it was always exploring and investing. We also make mistakes. I do.
We make mistakes
yeah.
and then we can share with people.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Don't do the same shit.
On that note, right, let's look at the next topic, which link very closely to risk-free rate, which is interest rate.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. Interest rates. So basically the central bank set a certain interest rates, and everybody kind of like follow. So Benny, logically speaking, okay, I'm not a property like genius guy, so I'm quite bad at property. So I want to ask you, if interest rate goes up, logically property price goes down, right? Like why buy a property now?
Crazily, it doesn't work this way, especially in Singapore. It totally doesn't work this way because once again, it's a very government policy-led nation, right? And we are feeling a knee-jerk effect right now, which means like you really see how property price is failing to suppress down despite multiple cooling measures. Yeah, it's so crazy right now. What's happening? Right? So let me tell you how crazy is real estate. So. Everybody was doing this whole might as well buy REITs nonsense conversation, right? They compare real estate to REITs, right? And I just sold a property. I just completed the property. In fact, completed the sales, right? I made a cash-on-cash return of 54% year-on-year for the last 3 years. 54%.
Shit.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
You sold.
I sold.
Okay.
54%. No,
Okay.
because I sell, I cash in the 54%.
I understand the principle.
Lunch
the
on you
principle.
later.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, 54%. But my point here is I didn't expect a 54%, but because the whole real estate market went bananas over the last 3 years, right? I was expecting about like 25 to 30%, predictably, which is to me is really good, right? But it went to 54. So what happens right now is a lot of people do not understand interest rate as much as they do not understand about risk-free rate, right? And it's affecting a lot of their financial decision. So that's what the whole goal of interest rate is all about, which is adding fear into the market. If everybody is fearful, more people will be worried about investment, the whole market will cool down. But if you truly understand interest rate, right, then you will not be of bondage of this fear. Like example will be if you have an interest rate of 2% versus 4%, right? Your mortgage literally do not double. Your mortgage don't double. So the biggest mistake people think is that if I buy a property for $1 million, 750,000 loan, right? I think that works out to be like 2,000 plus 2,007 a month of 2% interest rate, right? Oh, I will be paying $5,000 for mortgage if my interest rate jumped to 4%, right? Absolutely not true. You are only jumping up about like $700, and that's extreme cases, doubling of interest rate. And that is one thing that people need to understand. If you don't know the math, right, it's going to affect you. So then we go deeper math. Don't mind if I go technical so they can learn from
Please.
this.
Yep.
I'm
The
still
deep-
confused about it, please.
Yeah. The deeper math will be Then interest rate, what do interest rate really affect? Yes, your mortgage get a little bit more expensive. I say a little bit subjectively because it didn't really double. But however, the contribution to interest and the contribution to principal changed drastically. So for example, if there are 2% interest rate, we talk about close to 60% of every monthly payment goes into principal. That means you're paying off your debt, 60% of the money. But right now, at 4%, 5% interest rate, we're talking about only 30% of the money, 40% money goes into paying principal. That means 60% to 70% wipe out for expenses to the bank. Right, so that is the biggest difference of why you might make lesser. So you might make lesser because if you collect from tenant, you're paying off your loan, you are now making lesser because lesser percentage of money are going to paying off the mortgage, right? But however, it's crazy market like Singapore, how it works right now is this, okay? So because of this, and coupled with a few policy in 2022, right? What we saw was an entire flip of the whole market. People cannot buy more property. So when they cannot buy more property, in order to upgrade, they have to sell first before they buy the new one. Or when they buy the new one, they have to sell it before they exchange. That means like they couldn't hold two legal entity of property. If not, they will be charged a huge lump sum, right? From it. I mean, to take away all the technicality, that's just basic of it, right? And because of that, suddenly there's a group of family right now are out there renting homes. Because if they have to do an upgrade move, they now have to rent while waiting for their home.
Yeah, I heard the rents are crazy now.
The rents are crazy, really crazy.
So it's so crazy, right? At some cases, we are seeing double in rental when it comes to it, and it's nothing to do with the agent skill set.
Yeah,
it's economic. I met some agent like, look at my negotiation. No, it's not. It's not negotiation. It's just fundamental demand and supply, right? And it's all coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to add on to what Benny just shared earlier. So let's say as a landlord, okay, I already rented out my unit to a tenant, and the tenancy say lasts for 2 years. And during this 2-year period, I cannot increase the rental rate, and the interest is going up. And my mortgage is going up. And I have started, I'm hearing people say, hey, what happens right now if my monthly is giving me a negative cash flow? Okay, so I just want to add on to what Benny was talking about when it comes to interest rate. Even when the interest is getting higher, you are starting to get negative cash flow. You really need to know how to calculate actually every month what is your cost, because sometimes having a negative cash flow doesn't mean you are losing money, because it could mean that whatever you are paying in terms of your mortgage is just the additional negative cash flow, it will just become a forced saving that you are putting in to the property.
I mean, long story short, a negative cash flow in real estate doesn't mean it's a negative return, right?
Yeah.
It's a strange thing, like it's so strange. Right?
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, let me simplify for the audience. I learned this from you guys because last time I was a total idiot in property. So actually, when you sell the property, a lot of cash comes back. So you need to calculate at the point of sale, because actually you got to calculate profit from principal.
Yeah. I mean, the whole story about like holding multiple golden goose chicken genius. The whole story about holding multiple goose and then like, you have a lot of real estate, right? Is one of the worst way of investing in this current climate. The best way is to slaughter your golden goose. I'm going to get a lot of hate from this, but it's true. Because doubling your wealth is more powerful than just holding real estate. That means if I put in cash and in 5 years' time, I can flip that cash to be double the amount, right? I will sell it and I'll take the double amount to then invest again to double the amount. That's my real estate strategy. And all I care about is growing my pot of cash and not this measly, weird passive income that people are obsessed about.
Grow the pot and then put in Cambodia. Fix it.
That's really scary, right? But to end off my point was, there's a rising demand in rental, and yet there's a rising interest rate. So which means there's no net difference to me. My mortgage increased, but my rental went double as high. In fact, I got more positive cash flow. So nobody is selling. Market get even harder. People just start selling at a higher price. So this crazy thing happened for 2022, right? And property price just went bananas high, right? And the craziest part about this is that this world right now, right, is very different from the world of the Asia financial crisis. Back then, right, there's no regulation to loan. People can take crazy, I don't really know, people can sell property and flip overnight.
Yes.
And then they take a lot of crazy loans in interesting way, right? But right
multiple
now,
properties those days,
right now it's so controlled, right? Which means last 3 years, right, we literally hear almost nobody that I know, or friends, right, who got margin caught. Which means their loan got like stripped away from bank, they went bankrupt, right? So don't be so fearful, guys. Like, in big cities and big countries, if you are buying into affordable housing, not luxury asset class, right? I would dare to say, right, your property movement, right, max in the States, right, maybe drop 10, 20, maybe max 30%, that's about it. But in Singapore, you're not going to see any drop above 5%, mark my words, if you're buying affordable property. Affordable is a subjective word, okay? So affordable means mainstream asset class, not luxury asset class. Even though you're buying, say, mainstream condominium in Singapore, the property supply is going to hold. It's going to hold because rental is high, no reason to sell. Singaporeans are fairly doing well, no reason to sell, living a negative cash flow, don't hurt them. So when the market have no reason to sell, price is going to hold.
I see. I mean, okay, coming from a noob investor in real estate, I would like to say this is about Singapore and the US. Singapore, we are like the US. Why the US dollar usually goes up in a crisis? Like every single crisis that happens, US dollar goes up because that's a safe haven for currencies.
Yeah.
At the end of it, people still run back to the US dollar.
Yeah.
They call it a dollar milkshake theory. But the best of all the shit is still a US dollar. But in Singapore, we are the safe haven for real estate. So when the economy is in shit, you see China money coming in, you see Indonesia money coming in, you see everything coming in. So once we have political stability, and I mean, if you are the rich, where do you put your money? You just look for the safest place and capital will flow there. And Singapore is I mean, bad for Singaporeans where our estate prices just keep going higher and higher for new buyers who have problems. But you are the safe haven for real estate.
That's why you need to jump into the real estate because that's where the rich people are pumping the money in. And if you buy, then your property price will go up, right?
Wow, but I still interest rates are so high. I don't know, I'm still the noob in real estate. No, like not my thing. Yeah.
I guess the fundamental of real estate investment and stocks is completely different.
Yes,
right?
I get it.
You really need to understand the company. You need to have a sense of macroeconomic, right? But in not saying it's not true in real estate as well, but being precise in number calculation is very important. A lot of people don't even know what is principal paid. That means every month contribution to loan or tenant paying off, right? And that's a big issue. You have to be a mastery at number in real estate. However, my point is this. I'm still gonna be big on real estate. I have more than a few real estate in globally and Singapore as well. I will still be big in real estate in 2023, 2024 as well. Even though the world is very worried about real estate, right? Because all I care about is making that 15 to 20% a year, right? And guys, that's not me saying that there's a rental yield of 15%, 20%. Like even if you take loan, that's not what I mean. I mean net return. That means cash on cash return. I care about making 20% a year, and that's how I grow my portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Ken? What are your moves in 2023?
What are your thoughts? More important, not just move.
I think because a lot of assets are going to be shifted into the bonds and that kind of stuff. My 2023 outlook is not good. Okay, let me just simply put it, just explain it this way. When the government, if you realize for the past 100 years, government is pumping money, so they call it M2 money. Yeah. So as you realize, your dollar 10 years ago, your dollar now doesn't buy the same shit. Yeah. So what happens is, for the first time in the last 100 years or some sort of like that, you see M2 going down. This is the first time it's happening. So basically, do not go against the government. Like recently, I did a video on China's stocks going up. China's stocks are going up purely because the government instructed the banks of China, the top 4 banks, to start buying China stocks. That's why exactly at the point that they instructed, the stock market went up. Exactly like the US, when the Fed started printing money, the thing goes up. So what you want to do now is just watch what the government is doing. And okay, so having said that, government now in the US is, I need you to go down. I'm not going to go against it. In fact, as of today is the 19th. I'm actually shorting the markets right now. I'm shorting the markets and I'm doing pretty good. Okay, so I want you to understand this phrase. A lot of people talk about central banks, and Powell is the main face of it. So right now, probably tonight, I don't know what's going to happen, but probably he will increase interest rates. If you got to sit yourself inside Powell's shoes. If I increase to 5% and the stock market doesn't crash, good for me. I'll leave it there at 5%. So the stock market bulls right now, in their head, they are all hoping for a pivot. But the pivot will only happen if the financial conditions are in shit. So no matter how I look at the markets right now, the best case scenario is, the central banks are like, imagine Powell, he's just sitting there like, everything's good, nothing's crashing. I'll leave it there. Unemployment is low, I'll leave it there. So imagine living in a world with 5% interest rates and not going higher. It's going to be a pretty detrimental.
Yeah.
I call it the cut, the 1,000 cut. Your car mortgage is going up one slice.
Yep.
Your housing mortgage slice. Food is going up. It will just keep slicing you the slow death. Or just keep slicing you. Until one day you collapse on the floor, the Fed, okay, shit, you are going to hospital, I'll start to pump the market. So I don't see this any other way. Imagine the central banks flip now. Inflation will go out of control.
It is.
So I don't see good coming out of it. So what I personally think is that there'll be a hard landing. Something's going to crack. I do not know what is going to crack, but I do see a hard landing coming. And so now is who have the higher endurance of holding cash. You have the ability to hold cash. You can do nothing, and it's tough to do nothing.
It is.
Because all our life you are programmed to work hard, to that kind of thing. And suddenly ask you to do nothing. The whole world just mind blown. Huh? Do nothing? But in fact, if you look back, doing nothing has been the best play for the past 1 year. In fact, cash went up. The US dollar went up. So that was probably the best play in 2022, cash. And I remember before that, all the podcasts where I'm saying cash is trash.
Yeah.
In fact, 2022, the cash was the best shit ever.
Cash is king.
What do you do with your cash?
I just didn't do much actually.
You
I'm
didn't
just
do much? I thought you bought a lot of nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
You sure you didn't do much?
Oh no! What nonsense did I buy?
What did you buy?
What did I buy?
Oh my god. Shit's thrown. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, okay, these are like form of at the point my net worth was actually pretty high. I mean, so I parked some places as a store value. Yeah.
Cool.
Store value.
Store value.
Store value. In case any crap happens, I can liquidate stuff. Yeah.
But it's really funny when Ken is doing this, because just the last few episodes of Cafe Money, right? Like you will never see Ken buying this. You get it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
but
I was actually shitting on Benny for buying watches. yeah.
In fact, right, strangely, right, because I really I have a specific criteria when it comes to picking luxury watch, right? My luxury watch portfolio probably outperformed the stock market
Oh my God.
any day.
I need to tell you something.
Yeah.
Remember my Lego collection?
Oh yeah? What happened?
Recently, I sold something. Make a guess how much I profited.
Wow, Qiuyu, you always sell the top. My God.
Yeah,
I would say 2x on your money. 2x.
It is 2x seriously.
No, it's not.
So
2x.
that's the 200.
You calculate wrongly. See, the thing about Queen on top is they can fail in math, they still top, right? you 3x.
I 3x
You
my
3x,
money.
if I'm not wrong.
3x your money?
Yes.
Freaking hell.
Guys,
Yeah.
is it a world of strange world right now where Lego makes more money than stocks and luxury watch makes more?
Yeah. But I also heard one more thing. If you bought the eggs chart, the eggs has appreciated the most in value, but eggs don't last that long.
Yeah.
So there was this
Perishable.
chart of the eggs.
Oh my God.
So you should buy chicken. So we should have bought
buy chicken.
chicken
Kill
genius.
your golden goose, but go and buy
the
chicken that
We
can
should
lay
open a
egg.
chicken genius farm in Johor. We should open a chicken genius farm. Sell highly appreciating golden eggs right now. Chicken egg. My
Signed by
God.
Chicken Genius.
Wow. How many of you want to buy the eggs of chicken genius? Please type that in the comment.
Maybe you
Okay.
should invest in a chicken farm.
Chicken farm.
Yeah.
I think the problem with us right now, right, which is what Ken literally just described, is really hard to do nothing.
Yeah. It's really about
It's very hard.
I mean, for me, at least this year, my thinking is really quite hard to think about where to allocate money. I mean, hearing from Ken about how scary the stock market is doing, to be honest, I'm very fearful of entering. And so right now, allocation is one problem and one issue, I would say. And I'm thinking more of exploring more into more properties, but in other areas, like more business related.
In undisclosed
An undisclosed
Yeah.
location.
plan, yeah.
In
Until
our-
it's successful.
Until we are successful.
So basically, so basically we put it is that we're going to put our own money in. If we screw up, we screw up. But at least we learn something and we...
We can share the experience with people.
Yeah, we burn first, then... if it works, then we tell people. It doesn't work, then tell people no, don't go there.
we also
No.
tell people, don't do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess I really think it's also very interesting that if we take away investment, right, we look at business, right? Business has never been easier to enter. Business have never been harder as well at the same time. So I do think that second income might be something that people should consider as well, just to prevent themselves to be safe. I mean, we talk about ease of doing business. I really think after COVID, right, we have another surge of ease of business as well. People are willing to commerce, they're ready to invest, they're ready to pay money, ready to do meetings even through Zoom as well. I think there's a lot of tech to leverage as well, and there's a surge in AI, Chat GPT and all that. I think those are huge income opportunity. Those are not long-lasting income opportunity, but huge income opportunity. Why do I say that? Because the truth is this: is that a lot of people still don't know what to do with Chat GPT, which is like AI answering,
or
giving you scripts,
rather how
books.
to really properly utilize it for something good, right?
And I see how many people who does it wrongly. See, the problem with ChatGPT is that you need to be the one to put in the insights, and then they can expand on the insights. A lot of people is using AI to think about the insights for them, which is going to be absolutely trash because it's just making common Google prediction to you, right? And you are not going to go into market as an authority if, let's say, you're using ChatGPT as a business. So I do think that the business world is very interesting if people want to look at scaling and thinking about starting side income or business.
Well, just curious. I know you just recently advised a lot of business owners on their business and stuff. What is the general outlook on the
business,
like the people you've been helping, right, in your business? Like, what's your general feeling of the market and stuff?
Everybody is fearful,
but
I'm not fearful at all.
Oh,
Yeah. Not because I am like overconfident, but I guess you just need to really know your business and really know your game, right, and who you are serving. I think a lot of people don't know who they are serving and don't know why they even exist in business and don't have an audience that really need them, like them, or want them, right? And it's just like trying to be a trader. So I consider most business that I don't work with, they are just trading companies. Like that, although they can cover your marketing on it, just trading. That means if I sell something cheaper, more value for money, it should work, right? But they are just trading. Like,
but there's a lot of like price war going on in this type of business.
And if they don't play price, they say, oh, just give a lot of value stack, right? It's bullshit because it's still playing price. It costs you more money. So they do not generally have a product that is desirable in a specific group or audience. So I guess if you want to give a general advice, and for my business owner that I'm advising as well, is be very clear who you're serving and then how to serve them more. Actually, that's business. It's really not about like some crazy like funnel or like.
Can I add on one more thing? If your product suck, there's no point of the amount of marketing you do. It's still going to suck.
Yeah. So if I were to be so random that it might not be applicable for most people listening, because this is a number one financial podcast in Singapore, right? that don't do podcasts anymore. That is no longer active, right? But I would say if you have $100,000, I'd rather you spend in getting the product right than spend in marketing. That is a very bold statement coming from a marketer. That means I'm a huge marketer because too many people think that you can sexify through marketing on a shit product, right? But if your product is good, you actually can cut a lot of costs in marketing, and that's a new world ahead. There was a period of time 5-6 years ago, you can have very bad product, very good marketing, and you still win, right? But it's no longer this case. Now it's back to old school days, whereby can you create something truly valuable and
love it.
And people
I love the old school days.
Wow,
it is.
For the past few years, it's been like
golden nugget that Ben is throwing up for business advice, especially for people who are thinking of doing side hustle, starting your business, or already a business owner.
Product innovation is so not sexy. That means like being good at what you do. Like people only care about like marketing, how to create next hype, next ads, right? But it's just not how it works. Be really good at what you do, and I think that's a key picture as well.
Yep.
And what are your parting words, guys, for two of you? Because we don't know when is the next time we're gonna do another episode. Yeah. So where's the parting?
I know when I come back from my next trip, we do another one more. I don't know when will that be. Let's arrange.
Let's
do it, right?
Yeah. One more.
Parting words is Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. For our Chinese Asian community, right? We know they were celebrating on Lunar New Year. That's why they're saying Happy New Year. This is not short, be like before 31st last year. Happy Lunar New Year, everybody. And I think you guys please have a lot of fun in Bali. I'm super irritated. Please have a lot of fun, right? Please have a lot of fun in Japan as well. We'll come back again if you guys are excited. If you want to see us doing another episode, right? Please Give us your encouragement, put in a comment, and maybe type down what you want to hear from us. What kind of
Yeah.
perspective, what you want to hear. So maybe we'll consider launching a full-on proper season 2 when all of us travel and we're all done with our holidays.
Yeah, I think because the time during COVID, we had a lot of time to record, but now we are like all over the place. They're running their companies. I'm doing my shit. so, you know, it's very hard to kind of coordinate this. But whenever we are together in Singapore again, we will do this.
And rarely we come together. That's the problem. Like we're all
Yeah.
busy in our own ventures. But
Yeah.
I guess we really love to do this. That's why we spend a lot of time talking about this and procrastinating to this point. And finally we do it. Right? Like we really spent 1 year, 3 months talking about when we should do this. Hey, when? Finally we do it. So give us some support. This is very important for us as well. And just put in the comments. We just want to see what's your perspective on what we say and what do you want to hear from us next. With this, signing out, not knowing when's the next episode. See you guys. Bye-bye.
I'm so excited about this upcoming episode. I'm going to actually start the egg farm. CGS egg farm.